Hey guys, welcome. Thanks for joining me today. So, I want to share with you a game for your very littlest gamers. It is called, and I hope I am pronouncing this right, TAIGA. And it is for your youngest children. It says ages 5 and up. I tried this out with our littles, our 4-year-old and 5-year-old, and my 4-year-old was able to do it just fine. So, depending on the developmental age of your children, for maybe even some 3-year-olds could do this, although how successfully or how competitively, I don't know. But definitely for your littles, I would say it's good through ages maybe 8. That's a guess. I don't have an 8-year-old, so that's just my opinion. I do want to thank Timberdoodle for sending me this so that I could share it with you so I get my hands on it, try it out, and let you guys see a resource for your kids. So I'm going to give you a couple of thoughts, and then I'm going to turn the camera on, kind of show you the basic setup of the game, and you can see if it's something that you'd be interested in for your children. Okay, so like I said, I did try this out with my kids, and they really liked it. In fact, I have some direct quotes, and I have some notes here. My 5-year-old's like, "Great, I liked it too much." So I'm gonna say that was a thumbs up. And my 4-year-old said, "I liked it even better than Go Fish." So we got their vote of confidence. But there was actually 3 things as I was looking and trying this game out that I particularly liked, aside from just the game itself. One is the tokens are wood and the pieces are wood. And I'm just a sucker for a good wooden piece. I like that so much better. It's not because it's healthier or we don't do plastic in our house. We totally do plastic. But when I handle a wooden piece versus like a cheap chintzy plastic piece, it just feels so much more quality and I just like it. So that's one thing. It's small, but for me, I really like that the pieces were made from wood. Okay, but 2 things that were a little bit bigger than that for me. One is the setup and put away, but specifically the setup of this game and the gameplay is super, super simple, and it doesn't require my help for my kids to do it. That's uncommon. We have a couple of other games we've used with our 4 and 5-year-olds, and normally I need to help at least somewhere in the setup of the game, or I need to at least give them some input or some help, and, "Oh, the cards got knocked and they're all over the table, right, and I gotta put it back together." I feel like this game is super minimal on what I need to do. I can hand my kid this box. They could take it to the table and do it, I'm pretty sure, pretty much solo. They would not need me. So that is a big thing for me because one less things that I had to be hands on. The other thing that is a big one for me is I have a little toddler. I've got a little 2-year-old running around, and he wants to do everything that his sisters do, right? So when I was trying this out with them, I was playing with them. And so I decided to let him try playing it with us. And normally with a lot of games based on like the setup or things, if a toddler gets their hands in or takes a turn when they don't know what they're doing, it messes the whole game up for everybody. Like you can't really do that with a lot of games. This one, he could take a turn just like they could take a turn without messing the game up for everybody. And I'll show you how that works. And I really like that. Now, he could flip over the one that they just flipped over, and hide that one. But we were able to coach him on, "Oh, no, don't do that one. Do a different one." And he could reach over and do a different one. But he was able to do the exact same thing they were doing. He didn't understand it. There was no competition for him. It was just the fun of doing what his sisters were doing. And that's huge. Now, with that, there is a caveat. Some of the little pieces in here, and I'll show you, are small and round. So they're definite choking hazards, and the box clearly warns you on that. Um, so it's not something that I would have my toddler do with just my little girls. But if I were going to play with them and then he wanted to be a part of it because I'm playing and they're playing, he could totally climb up on a chair and take his own turn without messing up the game for everybody. And he had just as much fun as they did. And so that is also something that I would say is a big checkbox for me because I often in games have to hold him or really coach him or be really careful that he's not like getting his hands in and moving everybody's pieces where they shouldn't go. So it was really nice to have a game that he could take a turn too. So, let me think. Otherwise, the setup is really minimal. I already said that, and the instructions were super simple. It's a very, very basic game. There's not a lot to it, and so it was really easy to um, start just from the get-go. Like, I didn't have to sit there and figure out how the game worked. It was super self-explanatory. So I would say those were the things that, just when we were playing it and when I was looking through it, that really stood out to me as the things that I appreciate. And there wasn't really a lot of downsides to me other than the fact that there is a choking hazard to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this up on the table and I'm going to turn the camera on and just give you a real basic look at how the game plays so that you can kind of see for yourself. All right, so it comes with your game rules and then this nice little canvas bag with all the tokens in it and a little deck of cards. And that's the entirety of the game. So let me go ahead and set it up for you and show you how it works. All right, so this is how the game looks set up. So you would deal each person 6 tokens to begin with, and these are basically your point tokens. However many you have at the end of the game is your number of points, and whoever has the most points wins. So that's very simple. And basically, you take turns flipping these coins to try to find the animals that are in the center. So you see we have 2 owls showing already. There is 4 of each animal, and once all of the ones have been found, that's the end of that round, and you'd flip another one. If your child finds the animal when they flip the token, they get to draw one of these. If they flip a token and the animal is not there, they have to put one back, depending on the age of your child. I just let my children keep drawing until they ran out, and then when they flipped and found one, they got to steal a token from each other, which they really, really loved. But the idea is they take turns flipping a token. When all 4 are found, you flip a new card. And basically, it's just a memory game because there was, a moose over here somewhere. Was it this one or was it it was this one. And so your children kind of get familiar with the setup of the game. Important note, these are not the same. So they might have owls on the same, but they're different animals on the back because that way you can set the game up each time and they can't memorize like, oh, the owls have these ones on the back and the moose have these ones on the back. And, this one, it's a completely different game each time. And this is also why I said it's so easy to include your toddlers because you just tell them, okay, your turn to flip a token. And they reach over and they flip a token and they haven't messed up the game. Like it's super simple. And yes, my child did reach over and try to flip over the ones we were looking for. And then either we, directed them, oh, why don't you flip a different one? And they'd go for a different one. Or I just flipped it back on my turn, right? Or had your kids flip it back without, it doesn't really matter because everybody's flipping token. It doesn't upset the toddler that his is getting flipped back over the very next second. It's just how the game is played. So it was super easy. The setup is super easy. Very independent. There's not a lot of pieces. These are not light paper cards. They're like little pieces of cardboard. So they don't just kind of fly off the table when your kids bump into them. There's 2 of each animal in these cards. They go through this deck all the way, finding all 4 of these animal tokens before flipping a new card. And then at the end of the game, whoever has the most tokens left wins. All right, guys. So hopefully that wasn't a complete waste of your time and you feel like you know what this game is about and if it's something that you would be interested in. I do have the link in the description box below, so you can follow that directly to Timberdoodle's site if you're interested. If you have any questions, comment them below. Any comments, I would love to hear your thoughts. And we will be seeing you guys again soon.